Today you're going to hear from Omar, who's one of my students and also started off as my editor. And he implemented the A-list model and applied it to himself and used it to get onto film sets. So I think it's very useful for you to see somebody that used these methods and is now a paid professional working for Netflix, working for MTV, and all the big stuff in Los Angeles. You can do these methods anywhere in the world, and you can do this starting from absolute scratch, knowing nothing. Enjoy.
So I'm Omar. I have done the Friends in Film program, and I'm here to dig into what your sticking points may be so far in building your film career. We'll basically go one by one. We'll spend maybe 5 minutes on each person and kind of figure out what your journey has looked like. Cool. So we'll start with you, Rody. What do you want to do in film?
Well, I am an actor, songwriter, and musician. I currently live in Atlanta, where I'm with a production company where I'm taking classes, and I take classes at the studio as well. Have actors access and casting networks. Been going on auditions and auditioning for stuff, background work before, and a couple lead things here and there in the past. But this year, I finally transitioned to making this be my actual full-time career, so I can leave my main full-time job.
Mm-hmm. What do you do for work now? Your full-time job?
I became an insurance adjuster to fund the acting and music, and just forgot that that's what I joined it to do. And I realized that, so now I'm back into doing it.
Wow, it's a big shift in your life, huh? Actually, dedicating yourself to your dreams.
Yes.
That's amazing. Good job, dude. It takes a lot of courage to do that for sure. I've same thing. I'm a musician as well. So I know the grind. And you said you kind of made the decision to actually want to do entertainment industry full time this past year.
Last year, I said this should be transformative, and literally around June, I got the opportunity to leave Texas, where I was working at, to move to Atlanta, which that's where most opportunities were in my mind, besides California.
Mm-hmm.
Packed everything up, moved here, and got here in June. And by August, was already in the classes, starting to get things together.
Nice, dude. So, good job. Yeah. Atlanta is definitely one of the major markets in America. It's pretty much Los Angeles, Atlanta, and New York City. So those are the big three in America. So cool. I mean, that's a solid move. You're definitely dedicated if you were willing to move. And but so how long throughout your life would you say you've been wanting to be an actor? How long have you known that you've wanted to do entertainment?
Well, I got scouted as a kid
okay.
by a talent agency, but my mom, just didn't choose to pay those funds. So, try making family happy and everything throughout life. Maybe try doing other things. And it wasn't until 2013. Well, that's, when I just up the moved to Pennsylvania, started acting. And from then on, it's seeing table reads and that stuff and fight training.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Wow. So I know we kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of compromise with our family sometimes to do stuff that makes them happy. I feel that a lot of people, they choose a degree or something or a job that is safe. It's it's a safe job, but then it's not what we want to do.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. You've gotten paid acting jobs before, right? You've gotten paid acting jobs. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I got IMDb credits and pro membership. Right now, I'm working to try to get SAG affiliated, and since the strike is over now, I think yesterday I had 11 auditions come in to apply for.
Mm-hmm.
And today was 9 alone. So just really trying to get now the ball rolling.
What's the ratio for you? Each audition you do, how often does that turn into an actual paid role?
Since I literally just got Actors Access, the pro version, probably a month ago, none yet, because probably I've only actually started getting auditions come in within the last maybe 2 weeks, but it's been literally these last 4 days.
Got it.
Actual auditions been coming in.
How about just overall the course of your life? Is there kind of a ratio that you see is consistent, or is it just different when you were a kid?
Once I started 2013, it wasn't until 2018, 19. Well, I actually started getting with an agency and started applying for roles. But I know I didn't get them. I hadn't missed really any auditions, but a lot of those was background work back then. Nothing was main character, lead role. And that's because, I didn't have training, and that's what I'm doing now. I got all these acting books, training, And then the other production company we got trainings all the way to July scheduled.
Hmm.
So that's kind of what I've been doing now.
Right. Yeah. You want to be the lead man. You want to be the actor, the star on the show, right? Yeah. Beautiful. I love
Exactly.
that. And so what do you think is the biggest problem from where you are now, funding your acting and your music with insurance adjusting to actually being on set every day or, working and being a star and actually getting paid to do what you love? What do you think is the biggest obstacle, the biggest problem keeping you?
It's because I don't have a demo reel. So I know the production company that I'm with right now that's got the classes set up. They have this thing, where they're gonna make our demo reels for us, plus the classes we're doing, and then it's never been training. I took voice lessons. That's training. So actors, we gotta have acting classes, for training as well. I was honing a craft, then you gotta have reading material. So that's literally what I've been doing since
Mhm.
since August.
Like I would say that your situation is very common for actors or people that want to make acting a full-time thing where like it feels good to be taking classes. It feels good to be auditioning and it feels good to work on your reel. The thing is, this industry is all connections. This industry is all about meeting people that are going to bring you onto your next job. And I'm definitely you have to do training. You have to do the classes. You have to do all this stuff as an actor, work on your voice, work on your performance. That's going to be, if you're an actor forever, that's going to be part of your life forever for sure. The thing is, there's like a backdoor way to make it happen. The way to
Mhm.
actually make an amazing demo reel is by getting hired to act on an actual project, and then you
Yeah.
use that as part of your demo reel, and you're able to say like, oh yeah, I did this, I played this type, I got paid this much, and that's what like the the higher level agents, that's what they look for. They're like, oh okay, like Rhodey actually got paid to do this thing, and here's his reel, and he got paid to do this thing, so that's why it's a kind of counterintuitive, like how do I get on these jobs that pay me if I've don't have the right experience. So anyways, I agree with you, but also there's kind of like an adjustment that I want you to realize. It's also the connections and the type of shoots that you're getting onto. So anyways, that's like this Friends and Film program provides the solution to this problem about having a demo reel and also getting the experience, because when you're on set working with paid actors, you're able to ask the actual working actors, the actual professional actors. You can ask them, hey, like what classes do you take? Where do all the working people in town, what classes do they take? And then all of a sudden you're in class with them, you're connecting with them, you're meeting their agents, and y'all start passing each other work back and forth. You're on the right track. You do need a demo reel as an actor. You do need that training and experience, but it's kind of like you can level yourself up to see what the other working actors are doing and
Mhm.
then do what they're doing basically. Does that make sense? Are you hearing what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I've made some connections. It's literally, I feel, because I moved here during the strike, and
Mm-hmm.
like literally, the only thing that was hiring out here was been commercials and music videos. Like it hasn't even really been no non-union films or student films. But I got with a couple of production companies, and I do film my self auditions there, and like they have all like the SAG parties and this, that, and all that stuff. So I've been networking here and there. But I do keep that in mind. It's who
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it gets you more forward, in your career.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's a lot of it is connections. Okay. Thank you for sharing all this, Rhodey. Let's move on to Claudia. So Claudia, what do you want to do in the industry?
Hi, Omar. So same thing. I consider myself an actor. I would love to be a paid one. But so yes, that's what I want to do. I'm
That's
in
awesome.
London and I finished my first year of proper training September, had a showcase, got an agent, can keep continuing my training just because I just like it.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, as you say, a little bit in that trap of doing student films, very small and productions of short films, and not really getting my foot in the door. So it's interesting to see. I had never considered, and I never even discussed this thing in school, where you actually have to learn something else
Mm-hmm.
to get your foot in the door. Like that never even crossed my mind.
Right. Yeah. Like, I mean, I didn't go to film school. I didn't go to film school. I went to music school. And just talking to actual professionals, um, it's like film school graduates kind of get like a bad rap. And this is just the truth, is the honest truth. Like film school graduates get a bad rap because there's like this energy of entitlement that happens where it's like, oh, like I know how to shoot a film, like I'm so educated on all this stuff, or I know how to act because I've done like so many student films. And the actual working professionals don't really want that energy on set. They want someone that's eager to learn, that, and also is cool to hang out with, basically. Like that's how you make the positive connections. And yeah, they don't, film school does not teach how to make connections. Film school does not teach like how to actually work. They teach you how to make a movie, they teach you how to make a TV show or whatever, but they don't teach you the business aspect of it. And what Friends in Film taught me, this community, is how to generate work. You know, like imagine you can all can do this thought experiment, but we'll focus on Claudia. Like imagine you work on your first TV show. Okay, let's imagine you work on your first TV show, and then at lunchtime, somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, Claudia, you're like one of the best workers here. Like, what's your contact info? I want to bring you on my project next month." Like, how does that feel?
Yeah, really good. That
Okay,
would be really exciting. Yeah.
so that was literally my first time on a professional TV show. That literally happened to me, and it's very common. That's what we expect doing this program, frankly, is you expect success and you expect this way to generate work. And they don't teach that in film school. You know, like I said, I didn't go to film school, but I've been able to talk to a lot of people that have gone to film school, and that's what they say. You know, they're just like, yeah, we didn't learn how to get in people's phones and have them contact us and ask us to work on their stuff. Like it doesn't, I don't know why. Anyways, back to you. So you said you've been acting. You said you finished your training in this September, so just a couple months ago. Oh wow, okay. Congratulations. Good job.
Yeah. I'm
How
very
long?
eager, so just Googling everything I can find.
Good. Yeah. How long have you been wanting to be an actor? Like, was it something that you grew up knowing you wanted to do, or is it very recent?
It's relatively recent in the sense that I've taken action for it relatively recently. I'm actually from Belgium, which is a country that has a lot of theater actors. And the stuff that you find, Dutch isn't really a language that goes beyond the borders. So it's a lot of just like soapy things and some good films. So it was never something that looked accessible, but I've always, since ever, always watched things and thought it would be amazing to do it. And I thought it was quite common. It seems not everybody thinks that way, but so it's always been in my mind. And then my dad did some TV things. He was an athlete, so he was always kind of on TV. We were always around people, but it was never really something that I thought I could do because I was maybe also a bit shy until I just started doing it just before lockdown. I did a few classes, and then lockdown itself was really easy to get online classes and get my hands on it. And then I don't know, I just couldn't stop.
Got it. Yeah, yeah. Cool. So
I
the
just, yeah, I just, and then I decided, okay, let me do a professional class now, and that was really cool. It's just, I find it addictive. I don't know. I
yeah.
just want doing it. I don't really care so much about being paid, but I just do care about being around professional people.
Well, you should care about getting paid, if you want to
I
make
know,
this your
but I just
career,
want it so much right now that every
Mhm.
opportunity I get, I just want to do it. And
Mhm.
yeah,
That's good. That's very good that you have that drive, because that is actually like something that we go over in our program. That's our second month, where we talk about, it's called the 20 shoots method. And we show you how to get on your first 20 shoots, and that helps you build your foundation for your career. So it's good that you have that eagerness, and that we help feed that eagerness, and show you where to direct your energy, so you know what to say, who to reach out to, um and how to make it all happen in on the second month. And I'm sure you
yeah,
all know this is a 10-month program. So each month we focus on a new strategy, and it kind of builds on the previous. So then you'll get on like giant TV shows, within, you said you've been I mean, you just graduated from your acting training from 2023, and you've kind of had this like idea about being an actor, but not really knowing how to make it all happen. So anyways, you can make that happen within 10 months. And then, same thing for you, Rody. You've been trying at this for a few years now, and you kind of don't really have to guess anymore. That's what you pay for with this program is we literally teach you the strategy about what to do, how to make it happen, and how to safely transition from your current survival job, how to safely and smartly transition from that into being a freelancer in film. Claudia, what are you doing for money right now? What do you do for work?
Well, I am not working at the moment. I'm a mom.
Okay.
So, well, or working but not being getting paid. So I'm used to it.
Yeah, you got the hardest job in the world, one of the most valuable
Yeah.
jobs.
But my two kids are in school full time. So I've got time for myself now, since September, actually. So this is really exciting. My husband is fully supportive. And so I realize I'm very, very lucky to be able to focus on this.
Yeah.
It's not going to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get in and do some of the entry level stuff, which I don't mind at all. I just don't know how that is perceived or accepted if you're a bit older and you're a mom and it's not to doing like a runner job. I don't know if they would give that to me because I'm not 20 and available all day.
Well,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand your question. Well, definitely the film industry is very inviting, very welcoming to all types of personalities and people. So that there are people in the industry that have children, and the temporary the runner position that we talk about is temporary. We use it and leverage it to get to where we want to go. And yeah, so it's just a temporary season of the career to actually become a full-time actor or director or whatever it is. Yeah.
Jobs at all.
Say again?
I don't mind the type of jobs. I would do any job, but it's just about would they give it to me? Because
yeah, they will, of course, for sure. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the answer is yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But you did say something about not being available all day. Nor typically, if this program is about people that want to make this a career, and typically film shoots are all day, these are 10 or 12-hour days. There is you may be able to find a niche somewhere where you can somehow work part-time, but typically like the jobs are 10 or 12-hour days.
Oh yeah, no, I realize that. I mean, like there's not like if I know I'm shooting, I know that I'll be away all day. But I do get sometimes, you get a call sheet. I don't know if that's professional or not. You get a call sheet the day before at 10 p.m. and they expect you to be there the next day at 7 a.m. Is that how I'm supposed to organize myself? Or is that just not?
Yeah, so it depends. There are different types of shoots that you gravitate towards. You just like reach out to the person that hired you and just ask them like, hey, do you have an estimated time about when our call time is going to be tomorrow or whatever, or next week? You can get booked on jobs months ahead, or weeks ahead. And you just ask them like, oh, do you have an estimated time about like when I need to be there? And usually they'll tell you, or they have to.
Yeah, because you also don't want to be like the person who's like, hello, I have another question.
No, that's good. Asking questions is good. I mean, that shows that you care. That's important. Ask all the questions. The thing is like timing the questions, knowing how to word the questions. And that's what we teach you, like that's what we have. We have an online forum in Friends in Film where if you have a question or an experience and you're not sure how to navigate it, then somebody like me or all of the other like hundreds of people in Friends in Film, they will give you feedback on how to do it. Like, hey, I got booked on this job but this other opportunity came through, like how do I navigate it? Or like, hey, I'm unsure about this thing, what's the right way to word this question so I still come across as professional but still get what I want? It's we have an online community for these very specific situations. And I wanted to ask you also, what do you think is the biggest obstacle from being an actor full time? Like, what do you think is the problem that's keeping you from actually doing it?
I just think it's not knowing people.
Yeah, the connections.
You don't get the right jobs. You're dependent on your agent, but the agent is deciding what they're submitting you for.
Yeah, so that's another trap. depending on somebody else to build your career, depending on an agent for the types of jobs you work on.
Yeah, and
Um, mhm.
I try to not do that by going on, backstage spotlight, but you can see like there's only few jobs coming up, and then I can see all the jobs the agent is submitting for. They don't even show up on spotlight, and they're not
Right.
even that amazing,
Mhm.
but still, you'd
Mhm.
never see them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see it. It's all referral based, and that's why we make the connections we make. And that's what we teach you. We basically, like, the solution to your problem we go over in the program. We teach you how to generate your own work, so you're not dependent on somebody else. And even professionals that are in the industry, sometimes they depend on one or two people for work. But then when they stop working, then all of the work is gone, because they're dependent on one person. So what we teach in Friends in Film, we teach you how to have a network. It's called the 50-50-20 method. You have 50 people that refer you work, 50 people that hire you for work, and then 20 people that mentor you, that are years ahead of where you are, and they give you guidance. So instead of depending on one person, which in this case would be your agent, you have 50 people that you can reach out to and get referred work. And then you have 50 additional people that you can reach out to and get hired for work. And I'll give you a personal example of this. I worked on a documentary, and it was 10 days. When I got back in town from that documentary, it was early October. The rest of my month I was open. So I reached out to these 50 people. I spent an afternoon just texting, my friends, they're my friends now. Like, hey, like, how's it going? Just wrapped this documentary. I'm available the rest of October. You have anything coming up? And then that afternoon of reaching out to people, it turned into thousands of dollars of work on two projects. Um, I worked 4 days on a commercial with Dakota Fanning, and I worked 2 days on a film doing practical effects, playing with smoke and bubbles in a pool. And I got paid, like, for that job, I got paid 2,600. For the Dakota Fanning job, I got paid 1,400. So, and that I was expecting that, I was not surprised that happened. And that's what we teach you, like, you actually have the connections that you can reach out to. And that's the life of a freelancer. That's what you can expect by doing this program and by getting into the film industry, is to actually have these valuable connections that turn into work. A lot of people, I don't know if you have this fear or thought or not, a lot of people are like, oh, like, the film industry is like so unstable. Like, I don't know. I literally don't have that fear because I have such a wide network that Janet and Friends in Film taught me how to create.
Yeah, it's not so much the fear of it's unstable, and it's more of it's funny how you guys word it is much more in line with my way of thinking than what we are taught. What we are taught is you have to hustle, you have to
Mm,
call people, you have to email them, and I'm like thinking like sell yourself. And I'm like, oh my
mm,
God, I just cold call people and email them. Like they're gonna
no,
think I'm a star. Like I don't want to do that.
right.
I wouldn't be happy having people contact me out of nowhere and
Mm,
asking for stuff.
mm,
Which has also been like a big hurdle for me because I can't do it.
mm.
I would feel really bad about myself, just kind of putting myself out there that way.
Yeah, and that's not a good way to build your career. Like, we're not cold calling people. We actually make friends on. So that's the name of our program, Friends in Film. Um, like, all these people that I reach out to, we're literally friends. And that's why all the work is not posted online, because the friends are all hiring each other.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how I worked with Alicia Keys yesterday, and it was amazing. It was so cool. And I got that job because I made a friend last week on a music video. And literally he's like, bro, like, I love hanging out with you. Like, you available next week for an interview with Alicia Keys and Swizz Beats? I'm like, heck yeah, I am, dude. So,
I see what I can do.
right, yeah, that's what you can expect too. It's not cold calling people you don't know. It's creating friends in the industry, like making these valuable connections.
And they
And
don't
then
mind that you ask them. I
right,
guess
it's
not.
expected, you know? Yeah, we're all freelancers. It's like, oh, cool, like Omar's looking for work. I want to work with him. Let me bring him on my project. Or, you know, oh, Claudia is like, just learn this new acting technique. I don't know. Let's try it on my short film. I'll write her a part, you know, like I'll write a part for her to do her new thing. You know, that's what you can expect. Yeah. And then to kind of follow up on your previous question. And then after this, we'll move on to Yusheng. So we use the runner position, the PA position to make friends, to build relationships on set. And let's say I don't know you work on a commercial for some like I don't know like a McDonald's commercial or something like that. You work on a McDonald's commercial and as a runner, and then you know you're telling everyone's asking you because they're your friend. They're like, oh Claudia, like what do you want to do in the industry? Like because everybody knows that production assistants don't want to stay production assistants or runners don't want to stay runners. They're like, Claudia, what
Okay.
do you want to do? And you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm an actor. Like this is my type. This is the stuff I love working on. And then they'll bring you onto their projects or like their brother is shooting something next week and they'll be like, oh cool, like let me send you your info to my brother, like he's looking for somebody like you. And that's how it works. That's why the stuff
Yeah.
is not posted online, is because it all happens on set. Literally I'm not an actor either, but I get offered acting jobs because just because I'm there, you know, just because I'm there. Like, I was working on a Panda Express commercial as an assistant, and the second day they called on the walkie like, hey Omar, like the producers, they want you to be a background actor in this thing, like do you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So you know that's what it'll
It's
happen more
crazy no
for
one
you.
tells you.
What was
It's
that?
just like secret. It's crazy no one tells you. It's like the secret that,
Hmm. Yeah, you have to
yeah,
be
anyway.
inside, you have to be inside the
Yeah, yeah.
community. Mhm.
All
So
right.
thank you for sharing,
Thank
Claudia.
you.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you so much.
let's move on to you, Shang.
I just finished my MA degree in film directing.
Hmm.
I'm
Oh,
based
cool.
in London right now.
Hmm. So you want to be a director and you're based in London.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I think I'm just looking for jobs in like script supervising and something related. I'm
Hmm.
not like expecting to be directing something
Hmm.
um like at first, but yeah, I know it's like impossible at the beginning of the career, but
Hmm. Okay, cool. Yeah,
yeah, it's still
you
very
have those
hard to find.
the script supervising jobs. What kinds of stuff do you want to direct? Like what any particular what kind of shows or movies do you like that have inspired you?
Horror films, feature
Yeah.
films. Yeah.
How long have you been wanting to be in film? How long have you been trying to get into the film industry?
I just finished my MA degree, so I studied English literature in my undergraduate, and
Mm-hmm.
then I jumped into film industry,
Mm-hmm.
like jumped into film directing courses. So
Mm-hmm.
just 1 year maybe.
So before you took those directing courses, you did not want to work in film?
I've been wanting to work in film all my life.
Yeah. Okay.
My parents are actors, so
Oh, okay. They're actual working actors, they're professionals.
they're theatrical actors.
Okay. And then what are you doing for work now? Do you have a job now because you're a student?
I'm a waitress.
What would you say is the biggest problem keeping you from getting these like the path to get these directing jobs on horror films? What do you think is the biggest problem that's keeping you?
I don't know if I have a script. I don't know where to start, talk to the producers or sell it to someone.
Hmm.
And also, if I want to get a script supervising job, I don't know, maybe I don't speak English very fluent in the English speaking country, so that's also hard.
Hmm. So yeah, for your case, definitely we go over these sticking points in the program. Like there are solutions to your problems. Literally yesterday, my friend Luca, who's in this program, he immigrated from Georgia, the country. He immigrated from Georgia to here, Los Angeles, and he has a very heavy accent. Um, and he's like, Omar, grab me a C-stand. Like, you know, like that's how he talks. He has a very heavy accent. He just worked 30 days straight. He's a monster. He just worked 30 days straight last month. And he probably made
Wow.
like $7,000, you know? People, like I said, this industry is very inviting to many different types of people. people love accents. Honestly, they will remember you for your accent. It's a positive thing. It's very good. It's actually a benefit to you, not a liability. Um, like so like Luca's example, like, he could have been like, oh, like I don't speak the language very well. I was gonna, but he didn't let it stop him. I feel like it's already been a year now that he's been in the program, and he made probably like 7 grand last month.
Wow.
So, you can expect that, it's common. Well, he's kind of like, I don't want to work 30 days straight. He's kind of like, he got some different kind of energy. I like working 10 days, getting paid a lot for those 10 days, and then like get chill for the next 20 days. Like that's kind of my vibe. Anyways, the other thing is your question and like problem about not knowing how or where to sell your scripts, where to sell your ideas. The way that we guide directors like you is to become a director's assistant. Okay. So this
Yeah.
is what you do first before script supervising. You become a director's assistant. And then from there, you're grabbing the director coffee, you're kind of like highlighting some stuff on his paper or whatever, but you're there. You're watching him solve problems, or you're watching her solve problems. You're watching them direct the actors. You're watching them pitch the script to the producers in this meeting and casting people. You're there, you're right there next to them, watching a working professional do their thing. So these are the types of jobs that we teach you how to get. You become a production assistant and let people know like, oh, hey, like I'm looking to become a director's assistant. Do you know anybody that would be interested? Or like you're working as a production assistant, and then the director's like, oh, hey, like, like come with me, like can you grab me a coffee? And then they just kind of take you under their wing. And that's very common. I'll give you another personal example. My first MTV shoot, it was a music video, and I think I worked probably like 1 hour. I worked like 1 hour into the day. I helped the producer like wipe some glass or something. I grabbed some Windex and I cleaned some glass for him. And he's like, hey, like, come here. What's your name again? I'm like, oh, hey, I'm Omar. I'm the PA. And he's like, bro, like, what's your contact info? I want you on this commercial I'm working on next month. You're one of the best people here. And I was like, heck yeah, dude. Like, here, let's exchange info. And I wasn't surprised that happened. The producer, the head honcho on the project, the main boss, he's like, oh, like, I want to bring Omar on my next project. And this is what you can expect by using our methods and applying our strategies and adopting this mindset of like, oh, these are all my friends on set. I just haven't met them yet. These are all my friends. I just got to like go meet them and get in their phones, and then they'll hit me up. We'll keep in touch and they'll hit me up. The path for you is director's assistant. Okay. And
Yeah.
do you see what I'm saying? Like when you become a director's assistant, you get to actually watch the professional director sell their script, solve problems, interact with all the people. That's what I recommend, and what we teach you how to do in the program. The thing is like how to get these director's assistant jobs, like how to get on set. And I wish I could tell you all of you. I wish I could tell all of you in like the hour or 30, 45 minutes that we have on this call, but it takes 10 months. Every month you learn and apply a new strategy in the program. So yeah, that's what I want to give to you.
The path is the director's assistant.
Mhm.
And then for the actor, it would be ideally
Yeah, let me get to that.
runner or PA. Is that how you start?
Well, no, we all start as runners and PAs. And so from there you start vectoring into where you want to go. For actors, there are actually many ways. Like how I said every month is a different strategy. For example, we teach you how to use background work to generate more work, to actually get into the craft that you want to get into, which in your case is acting. The other way to do it is you move into a craft, let's say wardrobe, because wardrobe, you interact with actors all the time. You're able to talk to actors and be like, oh, like, how long you been acting for? Like, oh, who represents you? Oh, wait, what classes do you take? And then they're going to be like, oh, you're an actor too, right? And then, that's how you make friends. And so you have kind of a more broad way to make it happen. Nobody's career is the same as somebody else's. You can make it your own. We basically show you how to get into a craft and then use that craft to generate more acting work. It's kind of like you once you get to this point, then it turns into acting gigs. Does that make sense? Or I know it's kind of vague.
Yeah, it does. I'm just because when I was looking at the whole list
Mhm.
and like the production directory, I think it was,
Mhm.
and there were all these jobs,
Mhm.
and then I was like, well, I don't know any of them.
Mhm.
Like
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't have like a skill in any of these, so it's not.
Yeah.
But
That's okay.
yeah.
That's okay. That's what you use the runner position to learn. You learn the skills. The other thing that we recommend for actors is to become a casting assistant. Become a casting assistant because now you're there in the room and you're able to watch the director, the producer, sometimes the DP. When the actor's in the room, they audition, they leave, and then the directors and they're like, "Oh yeah, I like this thing. We're looking for this thing." And you actually start to see with your own eyes and hear with your own ears, like, "Oh, that's the reason why that they're hiring this actor over this other one." And then then you work with a totally different team. You're a casting assistant, and you start to realize, like, oh, okay, so these are the things that the director they're actually looking for. It's not what they taught me in film school. It's not what they taught me in acting class. They're actually just looking for somebody that fulfills like these three things or whatever. I've never been a casting assistant, but that's what works for actors. Because I'm not an actor. That wasn't my path. So that's
Yeah.
that's one way. There are many ways.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
casting assistant. That's something that is very valuable about our program is how to actually use, no matter what position we're in, how to use that to leverage and get into where we want to go. So for example, I do both art department and I do sound mixing. And actually, when I work on set as a sound mixer, I use that to get acting. I mean, I use that to get art department jobs. And then when I work on set in art department, I use that to get sound jobs, and they feed each other. And I remember at first Janet was like, Omar, you can't do that. You have to pick one. But then another thing that she taught me is like, Omar, you're in charge of your career. You can do whatever you want. There are no rules. And so I held on to that second lesson a little more. I'm like, I'm gonna do this how I want to. Like, it's okay. Like, it's working. It's gonna keep working. I'm gonna just keep doing it. And yeah, so that you can leverage whatever position you're in to get to where you want to go is the main lesson that we teach you.
Okay, cool. And then practically, so the course itself, so it's 10 months, and then how much time do we need to set aside for it? How practically?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I think it said 4-6 hours, but how is that divided into the month?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's every month you get a new module. Essentially, you get a new series of videos to watch and a strategy to implement. And like for me, I kind of spent like an hour a day, like watching a video, taking notes, and then yeah, that was kind of my what I did. I spent like about an hour a day. Some people just go hit it really hard and just make it their entire life, and the results show for them that way. So you get videos that you can watch on your own time. And Janet kind of paints the picture like, okay, like you wake up, you watch a video, and you implement that strategy that day, and then you do it again the next day.
Is it tailored? Because I did see the videos are kind of tailored to if you're in London or in LA. So I'm guessing it's kind of adapted to where you are.
The principles of this business are the same everywhere in the world. We do have examples from people in London and from people in Los Angeles, but it works both places. It will definitely work in London. You will get connected with people that are in London as well. That's our online community, Yammer. And, so that's a very valuable resource that you'll be able to use and leverage as well. Thank you all for talking to me. I hope you all get rich and famous. Thank you all. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thanks so much for listening. And if you want to take your career to the next level in the film industry, go to friendsinfilm.com/join. That's friendsinfilm.com/join. You can sign up for our mini course, learn about the A-list model, and then you can take it all the way and do the A-list program. So that's friendsinfilm.com/join. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, everybody.